Alright, welcome back to another race. This is a preseason race in FTRL, a league I've been looking to join to get some F1 action in, as part of league racing. I have a tricky setup with days and such, but which means I can only do Tuesday basically for F1. I have F2 on Wednesdays, and then I have commentary on Friday for TTML. So this is my, well, I mean, it's a partly tweaked setup from one in Kota. I stuck up the pressures a little bit. Big mistake. I don't know, just for reference, my best time in time trial was a 30.4. Okay, so that's what we're looking at in terms of, the peak. And I probably could go a little quicker, but maybe a tenth or two, maybe three, depending on how right I get on everything. Understeer I just really struggled with. So I'm going to show this lap in its entirety. This is my last run, very poorly timed run. Crossing the line, I just have a load of understeer issues, and I don't know what to do about it. I felt some of it in Austria yesterday when I was doing the TTML social race. At high speed it's fine, but at low speed it's really, really tough, and you're going to see some of it, here and then later on as well. So again, this is not the greatest lap in the world. Again, I'm not here to say that. But it's kind of difficult when you're, and look at that understeer. I'm off full lock, and I turned up my steering saturation. I've tried to make other tweaks to the setup to try and help a bit of turning without, adding too much front wing. It's 4/7 wings, It's not like I'm running one. I shouldn't be understeering this much. So it's been really confusing to try and figure out. I thought maybe on my timing with the gears, I had to go down to first there. Maybe it's my timing with the gear shifts down that I'm struggling with, but just at low speeds. I don't know if anyone else is having this issue. If you are, let me know. But I didn't feel it as much in Austria. I guess there wasn't as many slow, really slow corners. But here I really did feel it. So a 31.3 is not a quick lap around USA. It really isn't. And the fact that I'm down on that, to be fair, I left a lot of time in the last corner, as you saw from my first lap. So I'm going to basically get it all back. But I shouldn't be half a second down before this. So I only finished 0.086. Slower than my PB in this session, so it's just been really, really difficult to try and piece together. So it's 1.4 off the pace of pole. So I want to look at these sector times, and I think I'm like 8/10 slower in sector 2 compared to Dutch Tricks here, who's on a pole position here. So, and it's just very, very slow all over the place. So it's the low speed corners that are really killing me. So I'm trying to, I don't know what it is that I'm really struggling with. I've got enough turn in. I feel like steering saturation, but we can talk about it more later. I really was debating where to do the 1 and 2 stop. You see, the delta, is only 2 seconds supposedly in the difference between a 7 hard and then a soft and a medium stint. Even though the medium stint, the alternate strategy is 1 lap earlier pit stop. So I decided we'd see how we get on, and then we'd see what decision we make in terms of at lap 8 or 9 comes to stops. I'm fumbling, but away we go. Not a great second phase at the start. It wasn't bad, but just I'm going to be overtaking on the outside here. I understeer into Brutus there. Again, just you're going to see it with understeer later on. It's just tough. But we'll talk about it more as we go on. So we slide into 5th place. Honestly, my objective here was just I just didn't want to crash. Go around the outside of Brutus there. I didn't want to crash, just run my race, get a feel for the pace, and kind of see where we go from there. I get a feel for the pace in comparison to others, so a few bits of commotion behind, but we're going to settle back into P4 where we started basically. So again, I'm just struggling for turning all the time at low speeds. The front three will basically just pull away. I'm just in a little bubble here on my own. A lot of fuel on the car. Probably didn't need to use this much fuel, or take this much fuel in. Here we are at the end of lap 2. See, they're gone. They're 1.6, etc. Up ahead, 2.7 even. And I'm just, I'm 6/10 ahead of Brutus there as DRS is enabled. But again, almost going full. That's full lock into turn 1. That is not a corner where you should be going full lock. So I don't know. Is my steering saturation too high at 80? At 80, and my wheel rotation I actually lowered down to like 220, 230. Now I do wonder if part of it is because this has always been the case. the right front overheats through this section. This has been the case in previous games as well. I think also F1 2018, maybe in 2019. But yeah, I don't know, man. I hope the pressures from, look, everyone's got the same setup basically in time trial. And all the pressures are down to 0. I want to up them for a bit more kind of, stability at high speeds, through the S's and the such. But it didn't work out very well. Anyways, lap 5, Brutus is behind. You can see my right front overheating there, and I'm just not going to fight this. There's a tyre wear in lap 5. So I thought, okay, I can go on the set of hards. I don't need to pivot onto a set of softs or mediums, but there he goes anyway. I kind of expect him to just drive away. You see onto the podium there is 2.4 behind, and he's closing as well. So I expected Brutus to kind of just drive away, but he actually didn't. I was able to keep within his DRS. Used a bit of overtake to just try and get back in the mix. I didn't want to lose him. F1 2019 is a good place, keep within DRS. Same story here. Lap 8, I actually decided, okay, I want to pit at this lap. So, but he was very slow as Brutus into that corner, so I thought, okay, well, maybe there's a chance to overtake. Maybe I might do that. So I'm not held up, because onto the podium is 1.2 seconds behind. He's not that far at all. So I'm going to go for the move into this turn here, and I get it done. Again, I want to make a stop at the end of this lap, because, again, I think the same story as is the case with previous F1 games. Separation here is key. If you can separate yourself out of DRS, you're in good shape, and the first round pit stops are the best way to do it. But sadly, as you come around this triple right-hander, my teammate for this race is actually into the pits, which is Tico, whose pace was phenomenal. So I had to wait for another lap. But again, almost full lock into turn 1. Brutus is right behind onto the podium, rather, is right there as well. Later lap 9. Again, I just want to highlight this understeer problem. Is it just the softs here? Are other people having issues at low speeds as well? Let me know. I'm curious to find out. We're going to pivot into the pits then. I guess, same. I guess the original strategy was lap 9. So onto the podium stays out, and so you see the tyre wear there, 60 in the front, 50 on the rear. So you can kind of get an idea. So the tyre wear is absolutely fine in terms of percentage. But anyways, good, nice quick release there for myself. I'm not great at getting those releases from the pit lane, but that was not too bad. Onto the hards and go to the end of the race. And this is what I'm talking about with separation. So we come out of the pits, snap of oversteer there, I want to push, but he was right behind me heading into the pits, so we got a good entry and such, a good exit, and there's the gap. It's over a second, we're out of DRS. So this is what I'm talking about. You want to create that separation. This has always been the key at COTA. Anyways, lap 11, 1.7 laps of fuel. I use a bit of overtake here as well, just to give myself as much straight line speed as possible, as onto the podium, then exits the pits. And he actually jumps Brutus there. So I should actually mention this. There's no damage on this race. There's no safety car. It's very much a kind of find your race pace kind of thing. I guess for people to assess as well. The organisers and such to assess, the admins to assess kind of where people are at. So we do a PB there, 35.9, 1.9 seconds to onto the podium, and then Brutus is dropping far back. So there's no wing damage. So it just seems he was seemingly struggling through this part. And there goes Aaron. I think he runs the league to be fair. So he's on a new wheel, I believe, or on the wheel for the first time, not sure which, off the top of my head, but he leaves then, so he's top 3 pace easily here, so we get by him at least. See the other guys like Dutch, Trix and Tico are 10 seconds off the road, but not for long, because the Mercedes actually has a moment coming through the S's. So we're going to rejoin in just around 3 seconds behind. You can see the gap we've extended onto the podium, 3 seconds, and Brutus is 8 seconds behind. So I was much happier on these hards. I had absolutely no confidence on the softs, absolutely none, as Dutch Trix goes off, and then Tico goes off then to wait up for him. I guess maybe there was contact. They're in a party, I believe, as well. I found out afterwards. So I wasn't trying to worry about them too much, because winning this race didn't actually matter. I was very much grading this race now as we went on how this pace is compared to onto the podium, because he was the one that was I was trying to compare with as this race developed. So I don't know, that's where things were. Lap 22 heading on to lap 28. These guys are obviously much quicker. They've caught up. A big dive into turn 1 that I kind of saw coming. you know, get by him. So once again, and then Tico's on my outside. And to be honest, yeah, I didn't want any part of that. And then I didn't want any part of that either, as Dutch Tricks comes up the inside. And it's like, I wasn't too happy with that at the time it happened, because like, I was like, these guys are crazy. Like, what? The dive bomb was mad, and then I had to pull out then of going through the S's and then squeezing through on the inside. Like, they were much quicker than me. They could have just waited for DRS, and then again, look at a big dive bomb there. I just wanted these guys to just drive on, and so I didn't want to be near them, because having seen a few interactions based on here and, you know, on the straights and such, I just didn't want any part of it. I get that it's not a league race per se, and you know, you don't really have to adhere to the etiquette as you would maybe for an official race. There they go, then there goes Tico in the end. So I was annoyed because I wanted to gauge my pace onto the podium. Having to slow down or, you know, side by side with these guys in front was, you know, fluctuating the gap. It was 4 seconds and then 3. This is the last lap 28, so the race kind of, I thought it was going to be quite long, but actually ended up settling into it in the end. Felt good on the hards. Like, confidence grew in the race because I had zero confidence on softs. Absolutely less than zero in terms of braking and in turning. But the hards are a bit better. But anyways, we're going to win this race on penalties, because I had only 2 warnings, and 2 warnings from lap 15. So had to go the last almost half of the race basically without getting a warning. So I was really happy with that. The pace, I know, is not fantastic. It's really not good. But yeah, I'm happy with kind of how the race progressed and just trying to find consistency. See, look at a normal podium celebration, not a douchebag one for the people you see online. So I just thought I'd point that out. Yeah, so the pace really wasn't good. I'm hoping to be in FTRL Division 1, which is on Tuesdays, which is again the only day I can race for F1, again because I have F2 on with TTML on Wednesday, so which is the other day the FTRL Division 2 is on. So that's kind of where I stand with that. So the pace really isn't good. If I can figure out, hey, I won my first race, and that does include online sessions. There's the final race results. Again, actually a slower lap than onto the podium, but I just wanted to, just see, I'm fumfering. Like, I'm trying to find words to say. My pace is not good. I need to try and figure out why I'm at low speed. I have like no turn in, why I can't make apexes. See, lap times there kind of hard to gauge. I found some consistency in the last kind of 5-6 laps, but not great before. And again, the hards got better as time went on, but I have officially run out of video. I'm going to extend the black screen that you won't see because I'm fumfering and I need to end this. So yeah, that's going to do it for this pre-season race of FTRL. I'm looking forward to more of it and kind of getting I don't know, I've got a lot to figure out in terms of pace between now and then, but yeah, thanks for putting up with my fumfering. It's been nonsensical, I realise, but if you're struggling with low corner grip, please let me know. I'm interested to any feedback on driving, etc., wheel settings, etc., wheel rotation, etc. Just let me know, I guess, is what I'm saying. And yeah, until next time.